Welcome again, YouTube. My name is James, and I'm the Con,
And I'm Bobby, aka Bot.
and this is. Hey guys, so we're going to be looking at the news again. So before we start, I just wanted to say it was kind of a lighter week for the majority of the news, probably because of the holiday, but we're still going to just go along. I have a few things in here that are a little different from than our normal news, but let's keep going with the just announced. So the first thing we have is the Vincororor, I think I said that right, V33-06 Fire in the Sky, which is an oversized KO of the already big Siege Jetfire. Now this looks pretty cool, but it's weird to me because it looks like the accessories were not oversized, just the figure itself. And they did add some paint to the undercarriage and filled in a few gaps, which I think looks nice. Is it really necessary? Probably not. But if you missed out on this and you don't want to get the reissue that's coming out, here's an alternative.
You know, I think it's $100, I believe, or something like that, a little over $100.
Yes, it was I believe 102 or 110, one of those two. Yeah, so not bad.
Are you picking it up?
Oh no, definitely not. I got the Siege. I'm good.
I have the Siege as well, but I heard this is the same size as the Fans Toys Phoenix.
Oh really?
And yes, and I am all in for getting this. This was probably my favorite War for Cybertron or Siege figure. So the oversized, more bang for my buck, and it's only $100, which isn't too much more than what the original was listed at, I believe. I think the original came out at like 89 or 80, something like that.
It was 80 when I bought it. Who knows what? I don't know what
Yeah.
the new re-release is.
Yeah.
I have the opposite version of what you have. This is way too big for my collection. I know it's traditional. The Jetfire is huge, but I don't like them that huge in my collection personally. So I think the Siege version is the perfect size, which is weird for me saying Hasbro's perfect, but you know, we might see something else like that later on in the video, so stay tuned. So the next character we have is DX9 Toys D15 Kuklinski, which is obviously Dead End from Menasor. Now they're re-releasing this, and I believe there's quite a few that are actually available for purchase right now and are in stock with at least Show Z.
Yeah, I actually have this set, and I really enjoy this set. I was kind of on the fence about which way to go with either DX9 or X Transbots when there was the Menasor Wars, and I actually ended up picking up both. But I really like the DX9 set, and seeing that they're re-releasing it makes me wonder if DX9 is still around or if they're doing anything. If anybody knows, please mention it in the comments. But I'm seeing a lot of pre-orders or re-releases of DX9 figures.
Yes, and that will be quite interesting to see if they're back up and kicking. As far as if I would get this, probably not. I don't like the chest. It's too flat for me.
It's a guy, James. I mean,
right. Well, you never know. You never know. And it was Drag Strip that's a Fembot in animated. So, which would make me buy, if they had a Fembot Drag Strip, I'd buy that in a heartbeat.
It'd be a hard pass for me.
All right. So now we have two oddballs coming up. The first one is an official Transformers G1 Megatron 1 ounce silver coin. And I believe this is by New Zealand Mint or Zealand Mint. I'm not exactly too sure. This looks cool. I mean, it'd be a great gift for somebody that doesn't actually collect the figures, like my dad. Shout out to my dad. He's watching right now. But it's a really cool gift for somebody that I think might not want the shelf space of figures, but still wanted to collect a Megatron.
I've seen some other coins as well recently, and I was never a coin collector, so I'm not sure if I would get this or not. Initially, when I saw this, I thought it was a CD, and I was like, "Oh wow, we're really going back in time to CDs now." And
hey, some of us still collect those.
Hey, no shame there. I don't know if I have a CD player anymore, but I don't know if I would want the coin per se. I mean, how do you display it? I guess is there a stand in there or something? Because otherwise, it's just a nice box.
Yes, exactly. But I think it does have some um, novelty value for the right person.
I guess you're right.
And now something that I think is it's way crazier than the coin is Segway has a Bumblebee Go Kart Pro limited edition at $2,300. So I mean the price makes sense. And honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing Bumblebee in this alt mode. I think that would be it kind of makes sense. It sounds like a bee when it goes, and I could definitely see it. But as far as the Segway, I don't know who would be buying this.
So the go-kart kid adult lover in me loves this idea. The character of Bumblebee, and I guess it could have been any figure, but I would be on this if it wasn't $2,300 and if I had somewhere to put it. Being a car guide to some effect, it would be great. It would be fun, but I think my kid would really try to take it over, and she's only 3, so 2,300 is kind of steep. But I love go karts, and I would definitely drive it.
Yes, I mean I can definitely see you in that. You should roll up to TF Con with it in the
if
dealer
it
room.
comes if it comes to Atlanta, maybe.
All right, so now for our Legends collectors, we have 2 new repaints. So this is the New Age Toys Firefox H45T, which is their Clear Skyfire. So just like they did a Clear RC, I think this looks pretty cool because they're using more of a matte clear as well as the I guess shiny clear as well, which I think is a really cool combination. I haven't seen that on many figures, and New Age is really hitting it out of the park with that.
I really like this figure as well. I wish I had the space to collect MP and this scale, but I just don't have the space for it, and it'd be terrible for my relationship, I think. But I do love what New Age is doing. They seem to be putting out really nice figures, and for those who love clear figures, this I think would be perfect.
I think they're doing very good with clear figures. I'm not going to be picking this up,
That
but
blue
I think it looks
really
great.
looks good. That blue,
It really pops.
it really
Mhm.
pops.
All right, and then another Legends class is, I swear, Daedalus. That was the name of their grapple, but I guess it's also the name of their hauler. And this is H46G, and just like the other ones, looks great. Not much to talk about. I think it'll look great in any Legends collection.
Yeah, if I did the legend scale again, I'd probably be all over this. I did just pick up the X Transbots MP version, so I'm happy with that. But it looks really good. That big green spot on his inner thigh, though, that kind of looks weird. I don't
Well,
know why
the
that
thing,
just
don't
sticks
they?
out.
In this picture, it definitely does. It's kind of an awkward position, but because in the Inferno mold has those like canisters on the thighs,
Okay, yeah,
so
that just
that's kind
right
of.
there
But
is weird.
yes, I can
He
definitely
has a
see
big mole on his inner thigh.
that. Big green mole.
Yes.
All right, so now the next thing is the big news for today at the time of recording this. It just dropped today, and that's the Rise of the Beasts trailer. Now, before we get into stills of this, what did you think about this, Bobby?
So, as somebody who really didn't like Beast Wars, or when they're Autobots, they're supposed to be cars. True G1 are here. I actually really like the trailer. I hate to
Wow.
admit it. I really like the trailer. I was very surprised. I I was stunned actually at how good the trailer looked.
Yes, I completely agree. For somebody who grew up with Beast Wars, I knew it was already going to be Beast Wars already, but like seeing it in person and them moving, I was like, oh my God, I cannot wait. I mean, Optimus Primal was my Optimus Prime until like 2005. And honestly, he's still my preferred leader of the good guys. So I am so excited to see this. And we'll get in. I have more stills later, but first impressions, I can't wait. And it doesn't look like the most amazing movie in the world, but with all these Transformer movies, you just turn your mind off and watch it and you have a good time.
Well, as previous listening or watching reviews, excuse me, not reviews, but trailers for other movies, I was really excited by the trailer, and then when I saw the movie, I was actually disappointed. I hope that this isn't the way it happens this time around.
I know for me, it probably won't be, just because I get to see Optimus Primal and Cheetor and Rhinox and Airazor, and I'm thinking about buying all the beasts now. But we'll see what happens. All right, so let's get into some stills from this. The first one is the big man himself, Primal, and that was a really cool interaction between the two of them. I think that's go on.
No, I was gonna say, when I saw this, I was just like, oh, this is what we're doing now. And I was really disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw Optimus as I know him, and I was just like, oh, okay, now we're talking.
It's not Optimus Prime, it's Primal. So,
No.
and it's cool that they're working together,
Yes.
So, and I think that's what they really changed the colors on this guy, because when he transforms, there's like no red and blue like there should be, because they wanted to make a distinction that they are two separate characters. And I don't know if you caught it, but when it said, this is the biggest threat of your past and your future.
Yes.
That tells me right there that they kept the Beast Wars storyline and these people are from the future. And I am so happy they did
that. That makes sense. And I did catch that.
And then I had to put this in. The two yellow characters for kids running next to each other. I was like, oh, hell yes. Like, this looks so cool. Cheetor looks amazing. I love Bumblebee's alt mode, which I never thought I would say without him being like a little, VW or anything like that. So I was really happy with this.
I was actually happy to see that Cheetor looked good. They really did a good design on Cheetor. I'm still not feeling Bumblebee as anything but a Volkswagen Bug. And so it still was kind of
a shock to your system.
It was funny looking at them kind of race against, it looks like they're racing each other here.
Right, yeah, exactly. And I think the movie Bumblebee's portrayal is going to be perfect to match with Cheetor, because they kind of have the same type of personality, while G1 Bumblebee is completely different from Cheetor.
Exactly.
So I think that these will actually have more better, as long as Cheetor has the same personality, who knows? I think that they'll have a better rapport going back and forth, and probably a little like rivalry between the two. At least that's how I perceive it.
Possibly.
And then I think this is the big bad Scourge. I don't know. And if it is Scourge, he looks amazing. If it's not, this guy still looks amazing, and I'll probably be picking this up.
I had no idea who that was. And
I'm just assuming he stabs Bumblebee. Spoilers for the trailer, but
yeah,
looking at the trailers. So
it definitely looks like Bumblebee's not going to have a good time in this movie.
And that's another thing I wanted to say, is Bumblebee was kind of understated in this trailer, which I really enjoyed, because they put spotlight on the other Transformers, which made me actually like Bumblebee a little bit better.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what happens here. But in this, I don't know, I'm having a Mortal Kombat flashback, and he looks like one of the
Shao Kahn.
No, I'm talking about Bumblebee. He looks like one of
Bumblebee here? Oh, okay.
Yeah, he looks like one of the ninjas that they made. Is it Cyrax?
Cyrax.
Sorry.
You're correct. You're right. You're correct. It's Shao Kahn about to rip Cyrax in half or something.
Yeah.
In this picture.
I just had a flashback of Mortal Kombat. So
don't get me started on Mortal Kombat. That's another one of my favorite my favorite things. And then I had to put this in there. That's Battletrap. He looks even better in the movies, and this pretty much solidified that I am getting that figure, no matter if it's $35, because it looks amazing. This The whole scene looks amazing. I cannot wait.
I thought you would say this when I saw this as well. It it looks okay. It's a lot going on there. I mean, it looks like a war is really happening. So I'm very curious to see what the scene is how it's going to play out. I'm still not in on the character so far on the as far as purchasing the toy, but we shall see.
We'll see. You know, I mean, these new Terrorcons look amazing because they're not Decepticons. And then this is the last one we have. It's blurry. I had to take this on my own computer because I didn't have it on TFW. But this is, I think, Optimus Primal fighting Battle Trap. When Optimus Primal pulled out his swords and the mace, I about screamed that they're adding these classic weapons into the character. I thought that was so cool. And I think they're really putting the care and attention into these movies that the Michael Bay movies didn't have.
I really hope so. I want this movie to do well. I want this to spark off something that has been missing because again, the toy lines are one thing, but we don't get the cinema, whether it be in movies or animations or things that I could really sink my teeth in and enjoy. So I hope that this does well.
You know, I'm very optimistic. I think the trailer has gotten very good reviews so far. It looks fun. Bumblebee did really well, so I think it's going to do well. Regardless, it's not going to be, I don't think it's going to be a flop just because it's another Transformer movie and those have been proven to do well. But time will tell, especially if it hurts my wallet and I have to get every single character that comes out. But we'll see. We'll see. I probably won't get the Autobots because, you know, I'm the con and they can go.
Well, I think this
movie
will actually help me save some money here, and I can repurpose that for other things. So I'm winning one way or the other.
All right, so let's move on to some updates for figures. The first one is going to be Super 7 Ultimates Wave 2. I believe we got some new pictures. It's still supposed to be coming out a little later. And this is Bludgeon, Trax, Megatron, and a Dino Grimlock. They look good for what they are. I will not be picking this up, but I do like that Bludgeon. I know you don't like Pretenders, but I think that Bludgeon does look pretty cool.
Yeah, I actually really like the tracks. I will
That's my
not
least favorite one.
I don't know what, I think it's because of all the different colors. I think it's popping off the page for me on that. I will not be
With the
picking up
red
any of
background.
these. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Grimlock looks really good as well. I like Grimlock with I actually remember the episode where he did have the apron on and things. So that was a episode that I actually seen very recently, I think. But I will not be picking up any of these either, just not from my shelf.
Okay, so this is one thing I actually wanted to bring up because I was going to get Bonsai-tron with this because I like that character. I just think it looks cool, even though I'd rather him turn into a boat like the Botcon version, but I was going to get it. But then the price point really turned me off. These are about, I think, $60, and it's a 7-inch figure, and that's a lot for a non-transforming figure in my books. It looks great, but in my books, I'd rather put those funds toward elsewhere.
I totally agree. I can't see buying a Transformer that doesn't transform. And that's actually why I ended up falling out of Transformers when I was a kid with the Pretenders. You know, I just didn't like the idea of a shell.
Yes, and that's exactly why they're doing Pretenders with this.
Yeah.
And Action Masters.
Yes.
Oh, all right, moving on to something that actually transforms. Fans Toys posted a new video of their Jive, I believe it's called, which is obviously their homage to jazz. And that actually looked really good. If I was more into jazz, I would definitely buy it. Now, if they repaint it as Ricochet, I might jump in on that because Ricochet is the better version, color scheme in my eyes. But it looked great.
The video, I think we can put the link to the video
Yeah, we'll put it in
below.
the description. Yeah.
But the video, if I wasn't sold on this figure already, which I am, it would have sold me on this figure. It looks great. I love how they do the actual scenes, or they imitate the scenes from the G1
Mhm.
cartoon. I love that aspect of it. And yeah, I'm all in for this.
Yes, they did a very good job editing that video.
Yes.
And
And
then one I know, oh,
if they did the repaint, I would get that one too.
yeah, and you'd probably get the G2 repaint.
And I would get the
And
G2
you'd probably get, when they repaint it as Knockout, you'd buy that one too, even though you don't know Knockout.
You're probably right.
All right. And then one I know that you're very excited for is the Like Toys Metroplex. Now, these were found on Facebook. I don't remember the actual page offhand, but we'll post it down below where you could find these images. I think it was a
It's
group.
Lionel Hudson.
There you go. And this looks absolutely insane. The proportions look right, the size is right, and that's why I put the one in the center so you could see it with the actual figures. I think this is going to be a beast, and I think I have another. Yes, so I think this is the best picture to actually get the scale of it. This looks really cool. It's out of my price point personally, but I like it. And you're gonna roll your eyes again. If they did do a Metro Titan, that might be the pushing point to buy this.
Well, I've heard rumors that they're trying to keep the cost around $1,000 or so, and I just need to know where I pay. This looks amazing. I will just have two toddlers in my house, and that's how I'm looking at this. I am so ready for this. It looks great. The transformation, there's been all types of videos and releases of the transformation. Take my money now. Shut up. Don't ask me any questions. I want it. And I'll have
Yes.
a relationship discussion later.
Yeah, no, this thing looks amazing. The racklets that they used are very impressive. And if we go back to here, I think that's what the photo on the side is showing, that it actually can hold its arms up. So I'm
Yeah.
interested to see when you get this, what it looks like with all of your characters. And if they do a Metro Titan, maybe I will pick it up. We'll see.
Well, and actually, from what I read on Facebook, it's actually here in North America as
Oh,
well.
really?
So yes, so I read that yesterday, I believe.
All right. So let's go on to Fans Hobbies Master Builder MB-15A Power Commander, and this is the prototypes of the Power Lynx Prime. Honestly, it looks cool, but I'm not going to be picking it up. I don't like that blue with that red. I'm thinking of the Galaxy Force one, which is the repaint that I would be picking up, which is the Black Optimus, the black and red one. So this looks nice, but I'll be skipping this probably. And I also don't like all the kibble coming off of his butt.
I was totally out on this initially, but I'm seeing more pictures and it's trying to pull me in. I have the original Armada. This was from Armada, correct? No.
Yes, it was. Yes,
Yeah,
it was Armada. This is
Yeah,
the Power
Armada.
Lynx version, though.
Yeah,
So they
so
came out with the original colors and then they repainted them.
yeah, so I have the original one, and I did not like the figure. I just got it because it was Prime, and I love Prime. But the colors on this, it's pulling me in. I'm still not there yet, but it's hard.
Mhm. No, and I do like it, but what I really liked about Armada Prime was the inner robot, not the combined mode. And I know Takara has a prototype out, and it looks amazing, and hopefully we'll get that one of these days. But I think I'm gonna pass on this. I'm gonna get the Galvatron, the Fans Hobby Galvatron with the gray tank, because that is one of my favorite toys. So I will be getting that one, but I'll probably be skipping this. But that Gold Bug, or not Gold Bug, excuse me, Spark Plug looks great.
Yeah, I didn't like, and I think maybe this is why as a kid and with the Armada version, I didn't like the trailer. It
Mm,
always kind of slanted, and fell over. It didn't stand still. I'm sure with this being an MP version, it would be improved, but I think
yes,
that's what left a bad taste in my mouth.
that makes sense. All right. And now for some Hasbro, we have in-hand images of Legacy Hotshot via Prime versus Prime. I love Hotshot as a character, but this is doing nothing for me. I really like the Universe version that came out in 2007, 2008. Everybody hates it. They say that's the worst Universe toy ever. Yeah. And I love that figure to death. I have the Dion as well. I got the Japanese Henkai Henkai release with the guns on his arms, and I love it. This one, it looks more animation accurate, but all that kibble and hollowness just turned me off. And the price point.
Well, the first thing I noticed is he's missing the little helicopter.
That's a good point. And why doesn't he have an Autobot symbol where he's supposed to have one on his chest?
Yeah, that's
They
that's
have a
really bad.
cutout for the Autobot. So I, I really wanted, when I heard Hotshot, I was so excited. And then I saw this. So
I'm right there with you. Not a fan at all. We'll be making such a hard pass on this one.
mhm. But one that I think you will be getting is the HasLab Desaurus. Now, I never thought I would say this nowadays, but I think this looks better than any of the third-party options, and I'm probably
Ooh,
going to be getting this. I don't know how, but I'm going to figure because it comes out in December. Why couldn't it come out a few months earlier? But honestly, I think this looks way better than the MMC one. I don't like the proportions. The one from, was it Planet X, looked actually really good, and I can't really compare the two because it's a different thesaurus, but it's smaller. And then the X Transbot one looks very similar but smoother, so I like all the greeble on this. I wish the
okay.
thighs weren't cut like it is, but I really like this. I've never done a HasLab before, but I think I might be in on this one.
So I have the oh, you're gonna just torture me. So I have I have the previous HasLab on its way with Star Saber, and I'm I was trying to figure out if I was going to do this or not. When they showed the colored pictures in the Transformers Tuesday, sign me up. I really hope that we make it to, I think it's 17,000 backers and the
Hmm.
throne is released with it. I'm actually in for a couple of these. I haven't backed it yet. I have a couple more days, but I am going to pick up at least two.
We still have about 10 days because I haven't
Oh,
completely
that's right.
backed it
It's not.
either.
I don't know why I'm thinking the
Yeah,
sixth, but is it
yeah.
like the
It's like the
the
12th
16th?
or something like that.
Okay, yeah. So
But I'm okay if it doesn't come with the throne and the stand. I think as long as we get the extra weapons, I'll be good to go. And it looks like it's gonna be there. So I'm very excited, even though I haven't even purchased this yet. I think I'm quite surprised that Hasbro did something this good. And this just shows if they're able to do it and have the funds and the support, they can make amazing figures without gaps, without all of this stuff that we see in the mainline figures. And I
well,
wish they would just do a little bit more like this.
we still haven't seen it from the back yet, so don't get carried away with the gaps.
But we did look at the front of the beast mode. That's the back.
I was more so talking about in the bot mode.
Oh, like
The,
the legs.
yes, and the legs in particular.
Well, I with how good it looks, I could forgive that as long as everything else looks good. I'm more talking about the thighs. When the thighs have gaps in it, that's what I'm like. I can
I
see that.
understand. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. I'm like I said, I'm in on at least two of these. So, ah, goodness, you would have to show this.
I want them to repaint this into Red Geist. I know it's not going to happen. And I don't even know if you know who Red Geist is.
I have no idea who that is.
But I would totally buy it. It's a red Death Staris, but I totally buy that. Okay,
And I just
enough
got
gushing.
introduced. Yeah, I just got
What?
introduced to Victory earlier this year, so I'm late to the party.
And you know, that's the thing is, I didn't think I would like a Hasbro figure as much as I do, but I see this and I'm like, okay, that's better than most masterpieces. It looks good. So, but okay, that's enough of that because we could probably go on for hours about that.
Yes, let me take my wallet back.
Put your credit card back in and let's start talking about some incoming figures. So a lot of them we already talked. Oh yeah, 2 of them we already talked about. So the first one is Phantasm. Again, we talked about this in the last video. He's, I think, already in stock with Show Z, which means he should be arriving everywhere else, excuse me, shortly. And I know you have them coming. We don't really have to discuss them all that much, but I know you're excited for this.
I'm very excited.
With the new Rise of the Beasts movie, you need to get a masterpiece version of that Mirage and put them next to each other.
No, Mirage is a race car, not a Porsche. I did like the scene where he made multiple versions of himself. That was really cool. And it actually made me think like, oh, maybe I should get this figure. But no, Mirage is a race car. Mirage is a race car.
It would be a lot better if he was a race car. And I think the only reason why they didn't make him into Jazz with the Porsche was because Jazz is in the first movie and died.
Yeah.
So even though it's beforehand, then, you know, they don't want to mess with the continuity too much.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, moving on to 2 new figures. First, we have the Giga Power. This is a mouthful. HQ01R, the chromed Grimlock. And I have them side by side here with these pictures from Show Z. This says it's incoming, doesn't say when. So we put it in when it, you know, the incoming portion of this. But it looks pretty good with the chrome. I think they did a great job updating this figure.
These figures are amazing. I have 4 out of the 5. I'm waiting on them to re-release Slag. That's the only one I'm missing, but they are great figures. They're very sturdy, pretty easy to transform as well. But I love these figures, and I actually have the chrome versions.
Okay, yes. And let's transition to HQ05R, Goddenter, which is Swoop. And this is the one I would be buying. As I think we stated in the last video, Swoop is my favorite Dinobot. I would think about getting this, but I think it's just too big for my collection.
Do it.
And I would prefer the red chest as well.
Do it.
Honestly, no, that you can't convince me. It's too expensive.
For
Swoop.
You
but
can do it.
I think it looks great though.
It is an amazing figure. I love it. I would pick up a red chest version as well, but I don't have it yet.
Yeah,
I think they released a red chest version. I have to look.
I think they did, just not in the chrome version. I don't think
yes.
So. Yeah. All right, and another one that we talked about is the wonderful Trans WT01 Ronin, or White Ronin, excuse me, which is their Drift. We talked about this the last video, but they said it's going to be a 4th quarter release, which it's already December. So I don't know when that would be. I wouldn't doubt if it comes out a little later. But they also did a final price of $110, which is not bad for what you get.
I'm still on the fence about this figure.
Mm-hmm.
I have to see a little bit more on it. I do love the alt mode. That head is really, really cool looking though. I
just looked at the head up close and I'm like, I really like what they did with the head. And it's just Drift, but they did a very good job stylizing it.
Yes.
I just hope the swords can go into the sheaths on his hips. That's one of the things really keeping me away. If I have not seen that in any of the promotional images, and if it cannot go into the sheaths, that's a total no for me.
You'll probably just repaint one of your old sheaths from something else and repurpose that.
But I could, but the sheaths are part of the car doors on his hips. They're actually the car doors that the swords slide into it. I know you don't know much about Drift, but and they're supposed to be in there. And the old classics version, you can actually transform it with the swords in the sheaths, which was really cool.
That's pretty cool.
But this one, you can't do that. I just, as if those could go in, I might pull the trigger on this, especially if they do an SG redeco as Driftlock. I don't know if you've seen that, the SG version of Drift, but it's based off of Deadpool.
Oh,
Yeah. So
I would be in
if
on
they do,
that.
yeah. So if they did that, I might get it. Just be the Marvel fan in me. I love those movies as well as its Drift. So we'll see.
I might do that. I could see doing that.
All right, let's go on to the recently released figures. Some of these we also talked about last week. And the first one is the Energy Commander by Fans Hobby. We talked this one almost to death last time, so we don't need to dwell on it, but it's now out. You can purchase it. Bobby's not going to get it. I'll get it when they make Grand Scourge. Let's move on. We've got MMC Ocular Max PS25 Navigant, which is their Streetwise. I think you have this one on its way to you, correct, Bobby?
I do. I just paid the balance on it, so I'm waiting for it to come to Papa.
And it looks good. I don't like all the smooth lines, or the smooth surfaces, which everybody knows I don't like. But I like it. My defensor will always be the Make Toys one. I'm thinking about getting the oversized version, but we'll see how that goes.
Well, the thing that I like about this version from Ocular Max is that it's the all-in-one, so there are no add-on parts. So I have the first aid already, and it's really cool how they engineered everything into the figure. And I wish more combiners did that. Hopefully they are taking a lesson from this and maybe start implementing that soon.
You are correct. I think that's a really cool portion of this and Bruticus. Now I hope, they're coming out kind of slowly, but I want my beasts. So give me Abominus, Predaking, Seacons, Veronicon, and hopefully I'll put in a prayer to Primus for you, Bobby, that they come out with a Computron.
Yes, that's the one I'm missing. Come on, one of you third parties, please. Computron. Thank you.
Okay. And then this one, I put this in last minute because I saw it. This is an ABC Toys trailer for their Attack Prime Japan version. I don't know what the Japan version means, but this is a trailer for their Prime, the Optimus Prime from Transformers Prime. And this looks really good for a trailer. For any of you that have the Prime, I think this is going to be necessary.
So I take it you don't have the Prime.
No, I wouldn't buy an Optimus Prime. I almost, I got one and I'm good. Now, repaint it as a Toxitron. I'll buy two.
So I am out on this. I've seen a few other images of this, and it's really boring.
You are correct.
Really nothing going on, and I think it's like $40 or something like that, $50, something around there. Mm-hmm. And I guess in that where it sits right now is okay, but I'm not a fan of this version of Optimus Prime, so I was already out on it. But the trailer is very, very boring. And I think really this is just something to complete the look as a trailer, and that's it.
I completely agree with you. It looks great as a trailer, but doesn't have much other use.
Yeah, I'm not happy.
And another one that came out that we talked about, is the Toy Easy Mini Naval Fleet Set. Hey, if you like it, get it. It's available right now on Josie.
I'm still on the fence if my 3-year-old would enjoy these when she takes a bath or something like that. Who knows if they float or not? But I think
kind of stupid if they didn't.
Yeah, they're really cute, and if I was a kid, I would probably be all over these. So they're really, really cute, and I don't know. I'm still kind of considering maybe picking them up for her.
They are pretty cute, so make a good Christmas present.
Oh gosh, I've spent too much money already in the last 3 months.
And another one that came out on Show Z at least, is the Trans Art. I think it's Metal Mouse, their Transmetal Rat Trap. Again, please make Pack Rat. I finally got confirmation that they are planning on doing Tigatron, so I'm happy. So let's get the other ones out and give me a Pack Rat.
So one of the few MP Beast Wars figures I have is Black Arachnia from Takara, and I've seen this now a couple of times, and I'm actually on the fence where I might pick this up.
You got to do it.
The colors are really, really pulling me in, and that's what I think is selling me. I wasn't a big fan of Rat Trap. I mean, he was, again, I wasn't a big fan of Beast Force, but
Oh my
the
God.
colors on this
He's
figure
one of the
look
best
really
characters in all of Transformers.
Opinions vary. But he is that, I mean, the colors and just the shine on them, it's pulling me in. I'm like 51% on getting him.
I'm actually on the same way because I had this figure as a kid, and it's one of the ones I remember having as a kid. And it's not expensive. So
That's true.
We'll see. We'll see. That's
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
if we go to TFCon and it's sitting there, at the Chosen Prime booth, I might say, I'll get it. We'll see.
Make that two.
I'll put two of those.
Brandon,
right.
we're coming to see you.
We'll be there. And then Generation Toy. I don't know if these are re-releases, but on Show Z, they're now in stock. The Hotspot First Aid Blades and Streetwise, so not Groove. So I don't know if that was already released or whatnot, but they're now in stock. I honestly really like this set much more than the Mastermind Creations one. I just think it's more interesting. But I don't need to spend another $500 minimum on a combiner.
So I actually picked these guys up individually.
Oh, really?
So in Hotspot, I know everybody was waiting for him to come out, and time has moved by so fast. I can't remember if he came out earlier this year or late last year. That's just how fast my collection has been growing, but pretty happy with them. I actually really like the way they look, and in all modes. I believe the Streetwise had some hand issues though, or arm issues when transforming, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was really tight. But I do like the set overall, and go ahead and do it, James.
No, I got more stuff to buy than an Autobot. Okay, so now a little bit different from what we're usually talking about with the released. We've got some Hasbro stuff. And this guy just came in for me from Amazon. I don't know if you saw him back there, but I just got my Legacy Inferno. I haven't transformed it. I haven't had time, but I love this figure already. It has an opening mouth. I don't know if you could see it, but like its mouth opens and closes. And that is so cool. I don't expect that from Hasbro. So I remember having this figure as a kid, so it's cool to revisit that. And it's the last figure in the Hasbro Beast Wars line. So now I have all of season 1 in the smaller scale, which I could put on one shelf.
I think I might pick that up.
It's cool. The only thing I don't like is the hands. The hands are a little tiny.
I've been looking at him since they announced he was coming, and I was just kind of on the fence about it. I have some Beast Wars, and I'm somewhat of a completist, I guess, and so I've been thinking about adding him as well. Just to be honest,
he's already sold out on Amazon, so maybe
that's the message that I don't need to get him in there. There he goes.
So like I looked on Amazon and somebody was selling them for like $60.
Nope, not going to be able to do it.
Yeah, not worth it. Well, if you get it, there'll be a review coming up soon with this guy.
Yeah, I'll see.
And then, courtesy of TFW, once again, Crasher and Shadow Strip have been sighted in the US, and I have been checking. I don't think I'm going to find them because the Bay Area, Scalper Central, they're all gone. But I really do like these figures. I want them now after seeing them for a while. And I think the universe is in your hands, Bobby, to find two of each of these, because I think you're going to have a much better chance in Atlanta.
I am definitely looking at picking up both of these. And so, James, I'll make sure that I look for two and
Please
I'll
do.
go ahead and grab it. Yeah, I actually, to be honest, I went and looked today.
I went last night.
So yeah,
Literally.
I usually make a
So,
swing by. There's like two Walmarts, kind of on opposite ends, both
mhm.
about 10 minutes from my house. So I just kind of do like a little sweep around just to see.
Yeah, because I really like that Crasher, and Shadow Strip's grown on me. So,
Yeah,
and if they do a full G2 Menasor, I might be picking that up. We'll see.
yeah, I will have it either way.
Well, I will, but I usually don't buy Hasbro combiners anymore. And I'm totally out. I think that Menasor does not look good. But if they do it in G2 colors, I might pull the trigger. So, all
Seems like
right, guys.
you're making me choke here.
Well, that's everything we have for you today. So we hope you enjoyed. Let us know what you're going to be picking up, what you won't be picking up, what you think stupid, if you're going to get that coin, and we will see you next week.
And as always, to all debates are won.
All right, bye, guys.